Well, I'm actually uploading a video at the moment that I did earlier about something else. But since that happened earlier, I feel like I have to make some sort of comment about that, just for the sake of, well, the fact that they banned me straight away. The fact that Ron has consistently, his whole tack has been, oh, we don't want you around, CPE, leave us alone, bang your head, basically kill yourself, CPE, and spare us, and all this. He's the only one doing that. At the same time, he is consistently bringing me up in very disgusting situations. When nobody else was, he was the one who was doing it. He follows me from chat to chat. If you were so tired of me, Ron, why are you doing that? And it's just crazy to see, why are you having such a meltdown when I never even went in on you, apart from recently when I said you must be a henpecked fucker to be reacting like this to me with no real reason. The second thing I wanted to mention was, look at how that's gone down. Do you know what I mean? How we've always had it. This is very changing table. So I'll put a couple of the print screens up of Ricardo where he's absolutely desperate, champing at the bit, just waiting for Evil to give him some scraps from the from the CPE fucking table, right? And he's been waiting for a long time. He's been promised this for a long time, and he's salivating, absolutely salivating. And instead of it being a out and out chat, like we can have a go in the chat like they say it is, like you can have a to and fro and a bit of a say so, instead of that they just banned me straight off after making some surreptitious lies and disgusting allegations. And since Evil, the last time I'd seen him, had said, oh no, you're welcome here whenever you want, you're not banned, we can have a to and fro, we can be frenemies, right? So I went in and I saw what Ricardo was trying to put about. I saw what Ron was trying to put about. Like I was attacking them, they're trying to rewrite it just really, really surreptitiously. It's just layering it on thick. Lots and lots and lots of very thin layers of this stuff just consistently. Basically just making out the environment as if I was the one who attacked them, even though Ricardo came in late as well after kissing arse to the PSG and being PSG for that amount of time. That's all forgotten about though, magically. And you've also got Evil just like, oh yes brother, yes, I'll give you my story brother, absolutely desperate for it. So this is all obviously something that's going to happen, and it's just the way it is. They're trying to threaten to expose me, and Ricardo says he's got 30 hours to do so. This is because I went in and said, Ricardo, I never attacked you. Stop rewriting it as if I was. I also said Ricardo, because then he was like, oh, CP's not going to come here when all these people are here because she's scared. Again, judging by his own standards. So I just wanted to point that one out. And for that, I got banned and told that I needed to basically end myself because they're so tired of me. Then stop bringing me up. Stop making stream after stream over me for no reason. I've actually distanced myself quite a bit, and yet you guys are just so desperate. I will keep pointing this out as long as you're doing it. And when it comes to the exposing of my scumbag threats, again, massive embellishment straight off the bat, a lot to hide, a lot to attach to these very dry bones that they've managed to scrape together, and all of a sudden they've got something that's just this ravenous rush to get something done with it. So that's really interesting to watch them all scrabbling about. And what's made that happen? What's made them so scrabbly? Is it because I've distanced myself a bit? I don't know. But yeah, the big exposure, I think, the big threats that they're talking about is when I messaged Evil recently and said, you know, I've got people making coded threats at me right now. So I just wanted to let him know, sadly, that, you know, if he was to share my shit, then I wasn't going to be like, oh, Evil, no, 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 and all this stuff like he's probably thinking I'm going to be and hoping I'm going to be, so he can get the full reign of all his shit and then just like get away scot-free, which up to now he pretty much has. So this is the only thing I've got to protect myself. And so I've said to him, you know, if Tommy hasn't manipulated it out of you and you've stayed true to yourself like I've stayed true to myself, and you haven't doxed me like I haven't doxed you, then then we're all good, aren't we? If you have been sharing my shit about and it comes out, then I'm not going to hold back on your stuff. And I thought that was a fair comment. It's not a threat. It's just that I'm aware that he was trying to distance it. Oh, whatever Tommy's doing is up to him. And I just wanted to let him know that if Tommy did do anything, that information would have come from him anyway. And since his stuff is the only stuff I've got to protect myself, and these guys are acting so disgustingly, then I cannot be going, oh, it's all right, evil, on that one, can I? Because it's literally all I've got, and I'd be a fucking idiot to do so. So it's a sad and a nasty situation to be put in. That I'm going to stand strong, because all I'm doing is observing you guys and your sad manipulations. And today at Evils, I mean, Ron having to ban me straight up, and you guys planning and plotting your knitting circle in your safe space, completely feeling justified that that's like a decent way to carry on after all this time, slagging people off for having echo chambers and all that. And you guys are literally planning an echo chamber, planning to do it in the privet. Ricardo just can't wait to gouge whatever he can out of you. You really are that low down. I haven't even been around. I just went in to disprove some of the fucking rewrites that Ricardo was attempting to do, which he's constantly trying to do. But since I happened to be passing, I thought it was quite funny. But yeah, instead of it being like the olden days where it'd be like, all right, we'll have a panel later and we can all discuss this, you could actually address your complaint with me and we could try and resolve it, or have a beef about it, or we could even have it out in the chat, or we could just have it out in video form. No, none of that, because it has to all be controlled. I have to be banned. A lot of stories have to be written about me and said about me before you even start, or anyone who doesn't know me has any interpretation of me. All that stuff has to be done, and all your ducks need to be in a row, don't they? And you need to set it all up and do your production, because none of it's true. And and I'm just like, why? Are you that bored? Surely if you're going to make that much of a production, you'd make it about something else that you could maybe, I don't know, make something of, instead of it just being on this one person all the time. And yes, I am responding in the sense that, well, obviously you're threatening me, but at the same time, this is a journey, I suppose, that I have to go through now with you guys. And it's just having to come to the end of it. I mean, we have moved to the next room and you guys are scrabbling around like I've never seen. So something's changed. And here we are on the next stage of it. I'm trying to be as non-aggressive as possible while still standing my ground and not taking no shit from no pussies. And I'm not having stories written about me that aren't true. So I'm not really down for making it worse. In fact, I would up for having a panel and discussing this if you want. Me and Evil could have a panel about it. But yeah, I know you're not going to do it. Because really, if you wanted to resolve it, or you really want the drama, then that's what we'd do. But it's not, is it? Because Ricardo just wants it for himself. He just wants to mine this. He just wants some bare bones to make shit out of for ages. My previous video, which is going to come out after this one now, my previous video was about how he makes things out of nothing. So with this, he's like banking on stocking up for the fucking winter now, like a fucking little squirrel with all his nuts, you know. So we'll see how it turns out and what they do. It's just, again, it's just a showcase. It's just a showcase of desperation, the whole thing. I think in this, it's going to be mainly rewrites. I'll be looking at reframing, blatant out and out lying and strawmen, and trying and seeing how fast that they can whip something up out of a straw man and then work with that. I assume they're going to put quite a few hours into the first one at least, so that they can do a few of those, and by the end of that session there'll be a few straw men that started at the beginning of that session that will have become solid lore by the end, and then they'll work with that. So that's kind of what I'll be looking for when I do look at it. But they're going to be on later, and they've threatened to expose me on their massive drama stream. So here we are then. Get your old stale popcorn out again, blow the dust off, brush off them cobwebs, because we're going to have another round of it.